Let's sit, learn, and get to know them better than we do. Only on Shutia TV.
Hello Uganda, hello Africa, and the entire globe. My name is Joshua Metala, and this is the Profile 256, a show where we get to share stories of people that have made it in life, people that hope to make it in life, and people that think can make it in life. I believe you could be falling in one of the categories out there. And today I'm with one legendary TV personality, none other than Luzze Andrew Anderson.
Joshua Mitala Mnange, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. You know, the fact that, you know, Ochiroza Konogama Mine, Kasaja, at least covered the Coco TV for some time.
10 years.
10 years on
plus,
TV.
10 years plus on TV. So, Bakuzalawa, who are you?
Now, my story is a little bit confusing. Niza, Kariamu, Sanyusowa, Sanyukiwamuko. But anyway, I was born 1988. I think it was the 19th of February. So
most people don't always talk about the year in which they were born. So that's about 31 to 30 years.
31 years, yeah. So I'm very mature. It was so absurd that growing up, I had that. Of course, Badibamita Chigundo Grace. Then my mom called Nanyanzi Mary. I was born, I think, in Mulago Hospital. That's what I'm thinking. So Captain Chigundu was of course a soldier. Then my mom was just a businesswoman. Watuzalida side is Zana Awansi. But I don't have much to say about my parents because I lost my mom I think when I was like 3 years. Tata Yasoko Kufa. After like dad died, he died of HIV, by the way. Yeah, first CD Yalia Kamalo for Manyaba Majay, they could have different wives around. So he had one wife, of course, with a couple of kids, like 3 of them. Then he had my mom, of which my mom Tugata Mama Netata, me and my other sister, we are 2, but we are a big family of like 12 kids all together. So it's about yeah. That was so crazy.
So that
so when my dad dies, after like I didn't even see him, but I remember seeing him like once when I was still a neonate, you know, when I was still like a kid. So after him dying, wait out like 1 week, then also my mom died.
Wow.
So 1 week. So now good thing that
like today,
yes.
So after 1 week, your mom.
Yeah.
What was that kind of health? They were breathing for some time.
Now let's look at the HIV of 1988. Let's look at that HIV of 1988. That is the time, of course, when if you find an orphan right now and they lost their parents in that period, you know, their parents died of that HIV, which was an epidemic damn days, you know, because by then there wasn't even safe bath, like, you know, the mom is having HIV, the dad is having HIV, and then you give back to a kid who doesn't have HIV. It was there. So the mom had it, the dad had it, and then Miam inside there, but they are not safe giving birth. Thank God. Nevanzala, and they didn't test me, by the way. They didn't test me. I was like in my senior 3 second term. Then I overheard my sisters talk about it, and then they are like, hey, and that's when Omaningo Bawuliza Balimudio go Baroza Toli Waganoda, eh, Mananga Twamkeza, Nanga Tumanya Kubanga, Inabi. I was like, okay, but because now Nalin Someraku Eagle's Nest, which is in Mengo, HIV Information Center is just a walkable distance. So I'm like, you know, Genane Kebeza. So I went and I tested and I was negative because I had never had sex.
Wow.
The entire time.
Thank God.
The entire time. So when I was
so that Mzeiwa food day, Manuwa food day is in the space of about 1 week.
Yeah.
Where were you living by then?
Now try to wait aside this is Zana. You see Zana before you reach the roundabout. Like 20 steps before you reach the roundabout, at those houses which are down, that's where we used to stay. So it was very tricky because our mom now is having 12 kids in 10 dads. I watched again. So the good thing she did was buli omu gwe yazaalanga wherever she used to stay with the kids.
So kati gwe mzeewo, like your dad, the Captain Chigundu, the late. How many kids are you from your mom? 2. Wow.
So banana bala dad one. But she used to stay to protect her kids. Bonaona yabiranga nabo yenga ye okitegera kibule. So she did not give you that time to know your others, manya daddies, manya relatives and all that. So when she dies, we are now left just like that. So now we are 6 of us because so we are 6. I'm the last born and I'm the only boy in the family. That means you've grown up in this kind of life where your dad is a captain who owned most of the petrol stations on the Entebbe Road, and then you're having a mom, she had bars, she had, stuff. The eldest is like 16 years. The eldest is a sister, 16 years. But the good thing she did, yasasulanga fees nga yinza susasula omwaka mulamba. Ne kilasi joddamu
at the age of 16.
That is my sister, my mom. Nga abaana be asobola okusasulira paka wonimala P7.
Wow.
Naye ng'oli mu P3. So it means it can keep taking you even when she's not around. But of course, kimu kimaze okugwawo. Now we don't have wetubeera relatives. The relatives, what they always do, they sell off stuff, they try to share you, they tried sharing us, but again we were not comfortable. Life wasn't good. So we are born again Christian. That's what I would say. So there was a church Bajita Yesu akwagala Eseguko near Chameleon's place around. So we tugenanga ku kanisa mugenanga family, you come 6 of you.
So by then ngosoma.
By then ngansomera kati awo nali mu holiday nali nsomera I think sinama nagenda highway. I think nali nakava mu bino ebintu bya top class bichi P1 ngewedde kati ninogera mpita.
You remember the school, nursery school?
Bali bajita quality primary we bali bajita. So I went there kanisa tani kokutuyamba. Anyway, we go at church. We go 6 of us. Kati surprisingly balaba buli kanaku family jayo naye kuluno waliwo akalenza akamisinga. Then the Bazungus, who were missionaries, Papa Ron and Grandma Shirley, nebabuza my sisters, where is the other boy, the boy that you always move with, because I was the youngest. And then they're like, Jali, asigadde nani, Jali. And then these guys kept on asking Aliwa. So when it was bugging them, then they're like, why not? Katumugambi, Jali waka, he's sick. So who is taking care of him? And then they're like, no one, we just close him in the house. And then it's like, how can you do such a thing? Where are your parents? And then they're like, we don't have any. And then they're like, don't you have relatives? And then we're like, we don't have none. It's just us.
Do you remember what you were suffering from?
I think I was having malaria. So then they're like, okay, you guys, you can come over for dinner. So we went for dinner, and then they decided to take care of us. Babirenga batulabirira kati. So they were good to us. Yesu akwagala Papa Ron ne batuyamba okutusomesa nze bantandika I think from P3
ngosomerawa
ati awo nali ngenze ku bagita Highway Primary School.
Eliseguku.
Yes.
So you and Obi from Highway Primary School.
Highway Primary School. P3. So we started staying with these guys ningenda paka P5, but because now my sisters were baberanga mbisulo ati atinge wakati wali agenda kubera, and we are young ones. So what they decided to do was
now never kuteka mchisu
nga banteka mchisu naye kati holiday wetuuka nga tubeera nabo. So P5 ao nga nze head prefect, obayi masomero head girl, head boy ne head prefect. P5 I'm the head prefect
of Highway Primary School.
Highway Primary School. And the reason why I was the head prefect because I could communicate.
So which kind of person were you? Were you so much into probably were you into acting, were you samba mpira by then primary?
Me, from the word go, I've always loved debating. debate is neno. This water is better than
Water
fire.
is better than fire.
Hey,
Man
those
is better
things.
than father. Wedding life is better than
Those things there. So I used to do much of those because now I'm in primary 5 because these guys they give you that self-esteem. That self-esteem because I was being with them day in day out. My communicating skills were good and I could communicate
Wow.
but something you didn't know mama wange banza langa sina slim later bantuma Isaac. So Luzze is not my name, Andrew is not my name, Anderson is not my name.
So what are your real names?
Luzze Isaac.
Wow. You're called Luzze
Isaac. But when I was in my primary 6, my primary 3, I didn't know how to spell Isaac.
Wow.
But I had my friend who was called Andrew, and I could spell Andrew. Andrew. Kati kusomero waliyo Madam Nakato, big up, she's still there. So Madam Nakato nangamba nga tilina kubeera Luzzi. Abenchima balina kubeera Luzze. Aya basi ka ai ne kafuuka ka I. So ne maliriza nga nina
Luzze
Andrew.
So kati from nasari wale wandika Luzze.
Nasari anti abo baba kuyigiriza ebintu byota naye kati wano binga bitegera.
So kati P5 oli head prefect ku Highway Primary School.
Then I do a lot of I used to do a lot of debates. Kati nga debate yao yo mwagala nnyo kola nnyo debate nga sebo ne mu P5 nenga kubabana ba P7 bubi hands down. So that's how I finish. Kanisa keeps on with us. They
so church wishinze umaliriza P7. What next?
So in P7 I shifted school nenvayeyo. But every candidate class I went in I always changed school because amasomero genalinga thought I'm going to be among the best and I feared disappointing people. So each candidate class I reach in either in third term or the first term of that candidate class I leave the school where I've been.
So who could determine that? Watch pushing these rights that we're paying tuition.
Whatever I wanted, those guys did. They gave us all the basic needs of life. We had free medication, free food, free shelter, free everything. Free everything. So when it reaches a candidate class, I'm like, you know what, guys, I think I can change. You know. So P7 I left. I went to Seguku Primary, P7. So I went in P7 now Nemala, then I Eagles Nest
senior 1
first grade na gezako because I was done better. So never ngende kati ya nze Eagles Nest, then senior 1, senior 2, senior 3. Again we were good at doing debates. Debate was my thing.
So over the Highway P7 P7
primary.
Seguku Primary.
Yeah.
No yingira kati Eagles Nest for senior 1. No mala till 11 or level, sorry.
Kati when natukira mu senior 4
no chusa
era nenchusa awo nengenda Kajans Progressive natulira senior 4 when namala era nayo nali ntuse mu
soma tuwabayo kuba relatives bajja later on oba uncle, maybe a sister to your mom, a brother to your mom, or sister to your dad, or brother to your dad, never probably to up over our niece or our nephew chibichi balibati. None of them came up.
It was in my senior 6 vacation when namanya echalo change, my village, and that is in Nakauka. I had a friend because my dad was called Captain Chigundo Grace, very light-skinned guy. Yali agana kwesimba mbia Kampala, something like that. Nalaba ekifananyi chenina choka ebipande byokwesimba. So namba gwange oyo wokalo munyumya nangamba tata Captain Chigundo Grace nagamba sebo yo tata wange. That is now 6 vacation. Tata oh tata. Then I went to my sister and I told my sister, you see this guy, agamba tata wa tata to gama, no, we have to find out. How do we find out? Then we go to Chayamba nga jawo yo mwana jali azala tata we, and the distance was walkable. So we walked there tugendayo waabwe then n'atugamba jajjaawe bamwe banjawulo owoono yali Captain Kigundu Grace owo yali just Kigundu naye ate taata wange yali wa business taata woono kitegeera so agamba naye yayinako omuntu omulala gwe yalinga akozesa emirimu naye ali wali naye nga it is a walkable distance then we go there onagamba bannange omwami mujjukira biki mwina ne muganda we atutwala olowooza wawuya inseguku gyatutwala Kibuye then we get to see
the village
the tata muganda wa tata wange then he's like abana you know the abana abaze bagita bacha abaseuka abaza yes then he takes us to the village Nakauka but my sisters, because we grew up together and we did not know all those other we grew up as a family. So my sisters never wanted us to get into those things. But no. Because I grew up asking them, where do they bury me? So that's how we find out all these things. Okay. Of course, I want to water nabo tubamanyi tubategeera.
But so blending.
You cannot blind them.
So kati omaliriza senior 1 to senior 3, senior 4 choose somewhere. So kati senior 4 life year at school. Wali prefect
in senior 1 katwaina abakyali nga abayita abazagaza. Abazagaza mwalimu noisy preacher yakola kati zi video. I always to be young, but I could easily associate with people above classes. So I was with the Bazagazas, mwalimu spoiler, noisy preacher, who is now noisy preacher, akola zi video muyindi. Yeah, then ngatubera with the likes of the Mickey Wine, tubera with the likes of Fatty Chris, Pakamani.
Yes, so we are producing celebrities.
Very many. Uganda Miss Uganda, yeah, it's still there. Uganda Miss, like, you know, but they could sing, all of them could sing. Instead of doing assemblies, we used to do flag ceremony. So flag ceremony, people come a concert boss. Assembly affair.
Headmaster Naja.
Headmaster ali black American. Muzungu muzibu. Omwana osarako envirizo akawalata. Budde waka. Bakuze wakanga. I had like too much hair like this. For some reasons, because the owner of the school is called Pastor Don. Pastor, he's called Dozway. Pastor Dozway. So Dozway, because he's a pastor and and I'm from a church, these two pastors connected, and then that's how they ended up taking us that side. So netugenda netusoma naye ng'era nze bo bakola ebyabwe bayimba naye nga nze debate.
Waliwa debate yoka
and I used to be I'm a very humble person. I'm a very shy person. I don't interact a lot. I don't talk to people. I don't like crowds unless it is necessary. Which to get a sigenda simanya kwanjula mbaga simanya I don't.
So kati Eagles Nest omaliriza senior 4 dawa.
As awungende Kajan's progressive.
Kajansi still wali mu debate wakati in
candidate class. But again, I was in books. Me growing up, I used to watch a lot of TV. So during the day I can do anything, but at night I watch TV. Even up to now I can watch TV from 7 to 7 in the morning.
Wow.
So nga ebitabo mbisobola emisana tubera tu relaxing, you know, you don't care, but ekiro nsobola okusoma kuva kusaawa nyanga abana bamaze prep until morning. Tugenda ozuuka ku mati kitabo kye natutte nga ngamba soma busomi line osomemu nenkumalirayo ebisigadde byonna. Wallahi abana tuli tubasobola.
Kati Kajansi ng'okikuba senior 4 tewadda mu entertainment.
No, I wasn't in entertainment in any way. debate. I didn't. And then now, the Kajan say I finish up. You know, that's the time I think I lost my. No, that's not there. Then Nevayo, senior 5, then senior 5, senior 6 again. I left. Nengenda Bishop Dunstan Kalangala.
Senior 5.
Senior 6.
Wali Kalangala.
Candidate class dina chusizanga.
Senior 5 wali.
Na Kajan's progressive.
No dive senior 5.
Then
senior 4 go finye me.
Senior 4.
White sciences
no. I did PEM. Nakola. I did Vajita Meg. That is 5. Mathematics. Yeah. Mathematics.
Senior 4.
Senior 4. One thing I know, I passed mathematics, geography,
commerce.
Entrepreneurship batansomoletera naye ka point akamwapo na.
Okay, kat senior 5 ngochali ku Kajansi progressive. Ngokola Meg. So who is paying tuition? Abazungu basasula.
Yeah, still
holidays odayo ku church.
Kati yao they had gotten a big house for us, kati nga jetubeera ne family because kati tukuze mwe batufunirayo omuntu kanisa, the 6 of us. 6 ne batufunirayo omuntu omu kanisa atukuma. But of course, I think they used to get paid. I'm not so sure. Naye nga give us upkeep. Buli mwezi batusasula buli mwezi, all of us buli omu bamusasula sente ze. I think about 12
wow, zali
all of us,
a lot of money by then.
Upkeep and then they buy food and everything beyond China kubanga akozesa.
Kati senior 6 ngolumba Kalangala.
Senior 6 ngolumba Kalangala. Kati Kalangala twaina team. We had a team of guys.
Ani akutwa Kalangala abazungu basa.
Era still nzaba gamba.
Ngagwa bagamba.
Yeah. Kati, by the way, out of those people helping us right now, they've helped over 10,000 kids around the world, more so in Africa. 10,000 abana ne basoma ne bamala. After us coming through them, ne batuyamba ne balabanga they can help other kids. It was through us that they created God Islam. You know, God Islam katinga onogamba an NGO ayamba abana omushtegera. And now they've helped over 10,000 kids. They have over 5 schools around the country. They have over 20 boreholes around the country. They have over 20 churches that have come out of that because of that one thing that they helped us do. So, of course, I go to Kalangala, I do my senior 6, but because we had 3 Andrews, there was Okedi Andrew Floors, then there was also me, the Andrew. So we were like, let's choose a district if na buli omu gyagenda abasinge if I trace over it was next basoma the best 10 students it is the crazy boys that are the best.
Wow.
Fenga fetu chikuba walo Shemex Kizito oyo yali mubi era kati alina ne ba promoters bakola nabo.
So kati Kalangala otuse.
Yeah, I go to Kalangala, I study. Then I also finished that side senior 6. But because abazungu yali pilot, they quite pilot.
Maze senior 6 okoze Meg. Already
I wanted to be a pilot. Growing up, okuva okutegeera kaka ya. Okuva wentandika okutegeera. Nze njagala kubeera pilot. I cannot even forget nayimbako. Nze njagala kubeera pilot. P1. I still remember that. My entire life, I've never thought of any career.
Apart from nothing. Yeah, Meg was the right
yeah.
Blind. So, Ofunye Meka, senior 6.
Senior 6, I did well. Senior 6,
by the result out of 25.
25. I think I got like 40 something.
This is 40 something. By then, in your I'm sure.
I think.
What make what?
I make economics, but so when mara sirozangako kubeera into any career. I've never thought of being in any career.
Kati nge papa you senior 6
ngamba kati njagala kulumba piloting. Remember those people who are helping us, one of their daughters is a pilot. So I grew up and they're encouraging me, you'll be that, you'll be that. Now after senior 6, that's when economic crunch comes in. That's the time the Twin Towers are crashed. Because America doesn't have money to spend on now you people they donate stuff for. Now baina kati okwefako
ngo joining
nga sinaba kujoininga tuli move back. I cannot forget that. I felt very bad. So ekanisa awo yakoma okunyongerayo. Emanya kati omuntu aide, but now my sisters have grown up, some of them have gotten married. So one of my sisters called Kate, because now my other sister called Lillian, yali alina bawe nga yakolamu nga alina kasente nangamba Anderson, I will try to help you, because we went at the airport sometime. I think we were dropping someone, and then we saw these pilots, the way they are putting on their whites and then the caps, and then so she was like, I will help you. So mfuna transport, Kate helps me. I go to Sorority Flying School, and bumper trials, ebigezo okuyingiza. They give you 100. They give you 100 questions, but mathematics, you're not supposed to use a calculator. Then you answer them, then you're good to go. You're supposed to get 90 and above, but it is simple mathematics. So, and I had done mathematics, so I did, and I passed. I got 95 out of 100. So I now qualify. So Nagamba administration fee, and they gave me again. It was Kate. And I was supposed to be paying 1,000. We were supposed to pay $18,000.
Wow.
By then I think it was around 36 millions, and I was supposed to be doing PPF. PPF, that's a private pilot's license. I stayed in Sorority Flying School for one month, and then I noticed we could not raise that money. I go back home.
It's you. Where was an organ?
I told them, and they could not raise the money. So I had to leave the flying school. I went back home. Nembere waka. Nga sina chengenda soma because nkuze chichuka tukachenjagala okuba. So tugenda, I stayed on. Then they are like, no, it's all loza nga sina chensoma. I'm either going for flying or I'm not doing school.
No tula.
Nentula 1 year. Wentula 1 year ngendolaba ngenda senda mchine chintu. Then my sister opted for Nangamba ngende to different universities to see if I can get maybe any admin any course. So I ended up getting whatever computer science.
University.
All of them they gave me because we went to Makerere, we went to Chambogo, but they all gave me that. So I'm like, no worries. So it was 1 week to go join Makerere, and I never liked Makerere ever since I was a kid. I don't like crowded places. Ogenda kusasula 13 for any eventually bakubanja na ino simba line okumala week, I know. So you're going to get food and kids are very many. I don't like that. So I grew up not liking Makerere at all because I saw like the kids were very many.
So which university did you go?
As I was going to join 2 days 2.
Which campus?
Makerere.
2 days 2.
And then my sister is like, yalabeyo mukwano gwe omwana yasoma ebya medical laboratory birabika bijja kola yagenda okuteeka mse. I'm like, oh my goodness. And I never like to be in the medical world because I don't like blood. I hate blood. But of course it's not going to be you paying your fees, your tuition, so it's your sister, so you're supposed to go on what she's saying. And now she's married, remember, she's having kids also to take care of, and the husband. So I'm like, cool, no problem. I join a medical school.
Where?
And I saw joining one in Nansana. Then later,
lab attendant.
Nalinsoma medical laboratory.
Medical laboratory. Okay.
Yeah, medical laboratory technician.
Okay.
So then we went to Wanene Mengo. Namalayo like 1 year. It was a simple school, so we went to Mid-Care Health Professionals College
Mengo.
in Mengo. So nensoma.
You started out fresh, you didn't proceed.
I proceeded, yeah.
Mwaka gumu
nenyongerezaako. There was supposed to be 2 years.
No somayo.
So nensomayo 2 years. I was doing a certificate. Nali maze. And then my sister now, she's gotten broke, sent this child bulungi. I worked in a hospital.
So you have the papers?
Sazijayo. Nasoma nebya journalism sazijayo.
Impapulazo. Yes. Ku Medicare. Yes. So how Medicare tubaganye bali impapulazo.
Sazijayo. No, I worked in a hospital health center in Ndeje. And because later I developed the love for the medics, more so when it comes to body fluids, because our lab, it's all about those fluids, samples, so it's either sputum or whole blood or stool or those things.
So Lumi will take it all.
And the money. So I worked in a hospital for 1 year. Kati mwe muzita bana banono bazita internship. Tuzita attachments. So I worked there, but because I was good at what I was doing and I looked a kid and I had too much hair on me, patients were very okay working with me than these elderly doctors or the lab technicians. So I could inject 100 people per day on a minimum. 100 people taking samples, because nazeneita oji ogubuze gwendaba. I cannot forget baleta kaka kazi mchala nga mukade nyo nga aine kanyenya ina. The Vassals tried to get a sample from her and they failed. So they bangama mwite oji. I don't have to look at you to get blood out of you. I can feel the vessel and I will collect blood. Kachatomu to wachikola bulungi doesn't hurt. Tebiruma. I collected blood. I was the only one doing TB. Yeah. They call it something different. I was the only one doing TB. Now when I'm in the lab, I'm there alone, but I wasn't paid, you know. And according to the salary paying or minimum wage here in Uganda, they get a little money. But I can't
minimum wage.
No, Bazilina is abala.
Abasaw?
Yes, Bazilina.
Okay.
It was little money. I was like, man, I had developed the love. You take it up.
So no kola mwaka gumu.
I left.
What stopped you from being with those papers?
Kat
bali bakubanja.
If I move on, I move on. That's my problem. If I move on, I move on. And I move on very fast. I just leave.
Okay.
So in between nga tukyalimu ebyo waliwo omuwala yabadde backing up Bobby Wine today. I'm back in the yesterday, of course, during her concert. Oh my goodness, I'm going to forget your name. A very good lady. Shadow. Shadow
ngochitadde kyedwali.
Kati nkyalimu, kati nkyasoma. Kati Shadow no tuba tuli awo, you know, like in our cubicle, you know, hostels with my other cousin called Deborah Nakamewa. Yeah, no, try kati awusina gena Mengo nali nkyali the other side of Nansana in that medical school. Then tulaba WPS TV. And then they are advertising for the best TV presenter in Uganda, and it was dubbed the Icon. They went to all the universities, Makere, Kiambo, Gonkumba, IU, the Christian University. They went to all of the universities. So I told my cousin, Arumba Kuba, because me have always been with TV anywhere. And we grew up ngate tulimba. Nangamba soko kubemu akapera okoleno show. I do that show. Koleno, I do that show. Koleno, I do that show. Nangambo basobola. Kati what we don't lie, because that's how we grew up. Nangambo basobola. We are ngambo basobola. Namanya bumanya kati basobola ba. Kati transport yagendayo. Kati bali bagenze in all the universities, but they've not come the rest of Uganda. Medical schools, they did not come. So I did not have an opportunity to join in there. So when they called the rest of Uganda, I remember Hakim the Dream was there, Radio City, the likes of the Mackenzies were there, Patrick Cornen was there, the people organized there. So I don't have transport. Katininganga gezako funaka girlfriend.
Girlfriend chi.
oyo shadow ya backinga Bobby Wine oyo mwale yabaddemu omwo. And she was an artist by then nga wandika ennyimba naye ng'ali mu senior oba 6 oba senior 5 kitegera nga yeeyiya nangamba Anderson ninamuko kasente jukira ye abeera mudde abeera wakafe tuli mu hostels kati ng'akuwayo 5 n'akuwa omutwalo. I went ne number icon yali eri awo kati yali national theatre
tunatuwulira ovudde otya mu that lab thing the Medicare okyali Mengo
anti awo ndi mukunyumiza kati inansana nga kyali mu medical school wengenda mwezo competitions with her help because yali ayimba already ayinawo nawo zida nga yawandikira zida ennyimba era ne zida yali kayagala kwesimbawo currently ngenda ku eyo bagiyita batya eyo wabeera abayimbi National Theatre. So I got the National Theatre. Wallahi nakola my first presentation. Bagambirawo yagenda basinga n'abaana bonna ne boogererawo. Of course mwalimu ba Natalia Ozi, mwalimu omwala omulalo yakola ku Bukedde simanya Kasengejja, mwalimu Web Daniel Sebakije, mwalimu very many of those oyo omulala akola ku NBS yo show ya travel. I beat all of them hands down. The first take, all of them Cleopatra yagambira bano basoba amazi. And that's how I won.
Ensi negweddalu.
Remember, I had the background of debating, katingase debate, nemugattamu kati TV. Okitegera ndaba TV, mbadde debating, so I beat them hands down. Totally. I remember Patrick Conen, at one moment he said, you've done that very good. Okay, now you try Showtime Magazine. I did that. Okay, you try doing Struck at the Late Night Show. I did that. Said, okay, you try. It's like, you boy. Kombe, I was debating in Twalinga Tukola. So that's how I passed through. Named Tam 100%. Then from Muwava Muno na Gumpa.
Kati ngochali
kati awo nansana kati shiftinga tugenze kati Mengo. But I'm juggling between the books and then TV.
Ngamba okola. Ku Medicare edwali
kati no edwaliro zalinga attachments
so you were on for the attachment program.
Yes
ngabo
kati nali kati maze saddayo ku attachment nesigala nga nsoma naye nga ate wenkola ne ku TV bintu nga bino maana naye ng'obeerawo ekiro ssaawa nga 6-7 then Barbara Yatta nakubira simu Anderson, man, you know there's some international artist who is coming, can you go at Serena and cover for me? I don't feel like working. Aya basi no way ya transport ngenda ku Serena ino kwamba yango smart, then you do the things.
By then WBS site tebakwa deka 50k or meka.
No, WBS when they hired us they were giving us 122 bali batwa 122,222 zibali batwa by then but of course I used to work a couple of nali tebanafuna the exact show so when they got the morning flavor show then that's when they started paying us and they were giving us that money.
So I was working in that medic thing
kati
entirely no kati I'm now into media.
So when I started doing those things, each time they called me, remember now, tubera Ndeje. Cut from Ndeje to Ntinda Bukoto, ewali WBS is Naguru is far. Kati nzabana webawumula nensigala ku medical school for like 1 month because from Mengo at least it's near than Ndeje.
Yeah.
But remember now, all my sisters, I have only sisters and they are all married. So if I'm going home to stay there alone. So basically, asigadde kusomero singa, but all the kids are gone. Then Lomo, one of the security guys comes like, Anderson, man, no. Tosobola kubeera wana. Now it is overdue. I'm like, I have this.
Nenga bakuwa deka 100 something.
Yeah, they give me. So I was like, linda guno mwezi gugwe gwali kubuzayo 1 week. So mwezi gwagwa ne bampa of course 122,222. So ekumi n'ebiri ngamba kati ngenda Bukoto kunoonya nyumba
naye nga gyezirezi Bukoto
nafuna ey'omusanvu man
70k
Yeah.
emyezi esatu, that's about 210 something around.
Sasula
myezi esatu.
ebukoto gye bali bayita engine kati bayi Oilex something like that.
Oilex.
Nenfunaawo nembeera mu kazigo kange kabanga kabasikali, you know the gates, when you're entering a gate there is always that Cashmore house, so that's where I used to stay.
Ngakola ku TV.
Nakola ku TV.
Esinga by then yali esinga.
And by the way, we see Bakaka. And by the way, what insinuated me to join TV, it's not like I wanted to be a celebrity. This is sagalanga kuba celebrity. Wallahi, I never wanted to be a celebrity. I wanted to talk because I used to do debate. So I wanted to talk to a bigger crowd. So that's what influenced me to go there, not to be a star, not to be ku TV, because to me it seemed normal.
Pascal yagambye ekintu ekivemu. You cannot stay here at the medical school. Bakusasudde emitwalo gy'okkumina ofunye akayumba e Bukoto. So ekintu kya medical world ekyo kita like there instantly you leave it and then jump onto journalism or media.
When I left the school and I went there, by the way, but 222 zoka. It was 222,222. So when we are
Nafune
nyumba, I remember I moved with my mattress and my suitcase. I came to Bukoto, it was around 7. Ezekiro
Lego sawa em
injini kwa nyinyi kwe bandeka nenyimirira bwenti nenda omusajja akoze nemuyita nemugamba njagala ennyumba nambuzo ina sente meka nemubulira abiri gange nangamba waliwo eriawo. It was just from here to there.
Nagifunira
ngenda one nyinga ngamba ale na nyinyo no akablaza njagala
neka kyo tuse mwezi oleva abazungu tokyabawuliza bali basasula.
Now they went back to America. They stayed there. We were communicating by the literal, you know, because they had now over thousands plus kids they're helping, you know, at least back to Siza, you know. I get a house and start working. At ya ungenda, you know, katibu
awachita
kati we nakola for months naga ye mfati.
How much are they paying you at the hospital?
They were not paying me. The only time they paid me Ndeje Health Center for the only time they paid me bampa nusulu 10. Remember, on average nali nfumita abantu 10 nga some of the tests like TB it was only me nga nkukolera slide olaba oli ayinza ogamba malaria omulaba in the microscope and you could not tell naye nga nze nkukolera slide ngeri clean ngolaba malaria kati TB wange ng'omulaba. I was bad, and you know I developed a lot for the medication. I start working morning flavor. The concept comes in. Still, it is I kept in the gym together with Patrick Conan. We do that show there. The whole concept for them was to do an entertainment international kind of a show. Talk about the likes of the Kanye West, the Beyoncés, you know, the Kim Kardashians. But remember, way back, those are not my interests. By the way, I'm not a fan of music. I cannot watch music for like 1 hour. I cannot. I watch movies. So basically I ended in the thing that I wasn't prepared for. So I start doing that entertainment show. But now they want me to be international, talk about those international stories like how the likes of Mackenzie's used to do. But now I don't understand those things. But now there are artists that I understand, the artists that I see. Because being at Eagle's Nest, I could relate with these people. So now where I used to stay, now Bebe Cool is staying around. Like mukazigo kange kenalinga mberamu nga kasuku mulangira ndausi DJ Brian wa Bebe Cool mbamba uliranga bogera mukazigo kange. So when they show me on TV, so they're like, you can come over jam to chilling. I stayed with them for a couple of years, so I could get much content, you know. Kasuku mentored me in one way or the other, mulangira ndaus, then Bebe Cool, then you know. So
you could relate to them so easily.
So now it became easy for me to go on TV and I talk about these things in the entertainment world. I'm relating, these are the people that I always stay with. So it was easier for me. So I drifted the show from the international concept that they wanted it to the local, slowly. Because you know, TVs in Uganda, when it comes to producers, we don't have producers for studies. We don't have producers. Most of these presenters are the ones who come up with their content. Most of when it comes to the musical programs, it is the presenter to design everything almost. So it's not like the international TVs where the producer does basically everything. Yeah. So morning flavor 30 minutes. And we could nail it. It was really bad. So they yo. And at one moment when I was drifting it, they called me in the meeting and they asked me, Anderson, can you really afford? Can you maintain it? Is
it sustainable?
Is it sustainable? Okay, try it.
Okay.
I did it. I got every artist you would think of in Uganda. Only Juliana that I didn't work with. So
WBS Wachikuba, you became a celebrity.
And I think very good. I became a celebrity not knowing it. You get the point? You're a star, or you are kabi, or call ebintu ebinyuma, but I'm young, it's my first job. Sibitegi. I just do my job. You get the point? So I did not develop the pride names, I did not develop, you know, those things. I was normal. Just that I could get like too much money, you know, the likes of the SK Mbuga, the likes of Sipapa, the likes of Ivan
WBS.
Oh my goodness.
How did you leave WBS?
Oh my goodness.
And why would you leave it even?
Now, the way how I left WBS, now there are those wrangles between WBS and the URA, Uganda Revenue Authority. They're having some problems. The areas that they were supposed to be paying some taxes and all that. So, like what happened in the news is also what I know, that you know, Wavamono had taxes to pay. He had spent some time without paying. So they shift WBS to URA to see if they can. But I left WBS and now they have paid me too much money. I shifted like 3 times.
Wow.
I left that place there.
Not the mansion.
Then I got a small other house, very tiny. Very tiny, like these chairs. Very tiny, very small, like 2-3 steps. You get it, besat tung 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 when I remember. Then again, then again just behind again Orex. Then I left there awoba.
Right.
Abachalanga banji.
Abakushali.
Abangamba va ogende.
Kati awo no tambula yo single toyina mukazi.
I've not been in a relationship that entire time.
Toba nko relationship mlambo.
I've not been in a relationship that I understand. I remember I spoiled because of the lifestyle, you know. I could move to any club. I just go to a club and people will get me drinks. Everything is on the house. But I thought, by the way, let me tell you, I thought that's how life is. Because remember, this is my first job. People called me, rich people called me. My first time at Muhammad, it was SK Mbuga. People call me from abroad. People assist, like everything is on a silver. I could be with 10 people in the house. I moved to a club and everyone is sorted. I could not lack. So I thought that's how life is. If you grow up with kids and you're driving,
that's what life is.
Me, my first job, I thought
happiness. Money. WBS budgeted deco nati.
So Bagiteka Konati and URA is there. So they wanted to cut off some of the employees because they had worked for a long period of time. You look at the people like Sekeba, 2016, I'm not so sure. I was there 7 years.
Okay.
I was there 7 years. So now they wanted to they wanted to cut off some of the employees. But how they could do it, they could frustrate you and then you leave. because they're supposed to give you your benefits. But now they cannot afford for these people who have been there for a long period of time. The likes of Jack Sekeba, Straka, the Charles Oimuke, the different people who are there. Zomuto. So you're calculating the benefit of these people, and the money is too much because you're supposed to divide their salary into half, and then you multiply it by the years that they've worked.
Wow.
Now these guys are so many. How are you going to do that? So they frustrate you, and you fire yourself. So now they started frustrating me. I stopped bringing guests. Then away from that, they are limiting me lots of stuff. Away from that, even the content that I bring to present, they don't want to put it there. So there was a story I wanted to do, and I wanted them to show pictures, and now they don't want to show the pictures. I was on the set. I'm like, guys, you do not show my pictures. I'm on set, I'm on TV. You don't show my pictures, I'm leaving.
So
and
producer,
if I leave,
you said the producer to show the pictures.
I said that on TV. I'm working on air.
That was your last day.
That was my last day. I'm like, you don't show these pictures, I'm leaving, and I'm not coming back. On air. I'm like, show the pictures. They failed to show. I'm like, show the pictures. They failed to show the pictures. I moved out. You moved out?
Show out. You were signing out.
Nope. I left. That's how I ended WBST.
Did you ever think of the consequences of that kind of decision?
I always move on very fast. That's the problem.
So Kacho Maririza WBS. What next?
It was my hardest life ever. It was very terrible. I could not afford the house now. Most of the friends that I had left. I used to be with lots of people at home, very many artists at home. They all left. All of them left. So I was now in Kurambiro. That's where I was staying. I was paying around 400. I could not afford the house now. Remember, I wasn't saving. Money was coming just
on a daily.
It was the hardest time ever. So now bangambe nyumba ino jivamo ino sasula bamanje miezi 3. In short, nadduka budusi okuva. I called my friend at night. It was around 8. Then I called my friend and I'm like, you know what, Bamicha Widi is my blood, one of my best friends, but I can spend a year without talking to her. So we left. And I jumped into the car. Yeah, we got a car. I had a full house. So we got a car. I went to my sister's apartment around Freedom City.
So kati weva mu nyumba, what were people speaking? Bakubako mawulire, nawulira bakubako mawulire.
News has not been good in one way or the other. But me, one thing I always said is that as long as you choose that career and you enjoy it and you have fun out of it, enjoy the rest of the things that come over it.
It made rounds. Luzze bamgoye mu nyumba, Luzze yasulidde ebintu. Chakwisa kichecho.
I don't care. Remember, I didn't come in this thing to be a star or a celebrity. I was doing something I want. The difference between, you know, oriyanza okubanga sika chapa nenga kusinga okuyingiza. You get the point. Nayenga gobo okola omulimu gobeera ku TV. Nayenga ate yakusinga obwakabi naye mbulwa kwako oli ku TV. You get the point. So enenzirayo I went to Freedom City.
Watoloka ewalandi road.
Yeah.
Ekiro.
Yeah.
Teyaddamu kunoonya. Yala kubanja emyezi emeka.
Now the beauty with it is that Bali chooses from the landlord asking for money to now a company. So the company could not look for me. So they had just drifted from that. So there around Freedom City, it was a hassle, man. It was the hardest time in my life. You could not get what to eat. Everyone is gone. You know, it was the hardest. I remember SK Angamba Kandasuno called me, but now he's also in prison. It was the hardest time ever. You're not having food. You know, it was the hardest ever. So I was like, how can I do it? But I wanted a TV which was more organized, just like WBS. So all these other TVs I saw.
How much time did that take?
7 months.
7
months. Because where I was,
those 7 months,
nothing. chilling.
Ngatona, like that kind of life. Teyakusindika to do certain things.
It changed me a lot.
How?
Right now, even if I'm not working, even if I spend a year without working, I'll never leave a house. This year I'm going to start building. It changed a lot of things in my life.
Kati ngokera kumacha notula.
Nenchiri.
Nenchiri paka notula.
Yeah. Nali nabacha nayo chali wangao. Omu.
Ngamukola chine chaliyo.
Work houses, the apartments, because yali azisasula emitwala convenience. So that's where I came up with an idea to go to Rwanda. Also, because I was watching Rwanda TV and I saw like those guys were more organized than in Uganda. Sagala kumpa mitwala abiri. So I go there. Yeah. And Rwanda TV, they were going to give me, I was on Radio City Rwanda. That's how I get a phone call for Record TV.
Ngoli Rwanda.
Yeah. And they told me come as soon as possible. They had their head of production.
I knew you.
I don't remember his name. Ibra. No. Ibra Nemulangira Bebankubira. MD had just come and then they were looking for people to work with, so they told them there is this young guy who can do something. So when they called me and I was looking for a job in Rwanda, I opted for the one in Uganda because it's in your country. And I knew maybe I would have a high beginning per because it's them who have called me. Yeah, they were fans. They were fans. So I come back to Uganda and they give me a job. I start working with them. 2 years now on the road.
Kati, how have those 2 years been? Over the way in Jaulu, because you're from WBS 7 month off Kati, Oliku TV and Dala. Any changes?
It has changed a lot in my life. Everything that has happened in my life, man. Growing up, I've never been in a family. I've never been in a family where there is a mom and a dad, you know. Never. Tichibanga, never. I don't know those things of mother's love, you know, father's love. I don't know those things. Me, my lifestyle, the way how I live, is how we grew up. You get. So lots of changes, and then those 7 months I mixed without working and I was broke. They also changed a lot in me. I've grown up telling people that I want to get married. I want to get married in church. I want to have a family. I want to have kids in one home. Female, you know, and we are married.
Married.
We are married. So I thank God I never caught HIV. Because of the simple background of medical. Nalaba abantu abalwadde nendaba ebyebali okitegeera.
Kati you are Record TV. Tuba tuli awo nga you're making rounds on social media over Zahara Totto. What happened? Have you guys had something between the two of you? Why would you share that kind of video on YouTube? Why would you stigmatize those young kids? Because she calls it stigmatizing. The kids that you showed in that video.
Okay, the thing is like this. I don't know. He was one of the people when I saw kumitinga in my life. In my life, when I saw kumitinga anga serebo wakabi. And I had written my list of the people that I wanted to meet in entertainment. My goal. I didn't meet any of those guys, but now I get to meet Bebe Cool first. Whatever I could tell me when we are chatting at night is what I could go ahead to show on air or to talk about on air. So one night he is all over news. I got to tell you konfufu headlines. Mbuyalide akantu.
Akantu chi?
Mbwaka akantu kaba. Ali konfufu kumacha. Bukedde olupapula. Era yaliko headline. Zinagambo why? But the day before ekirunga temunatya I was with a guy.
Nabyogera.
Teyabyogera. Era nze ne ngamba why? Byomu abayogera ku bino nze kumacha we najja nayogera ku nyumba ye ng'agitaddeko amategula. Ninga mu nyumba agitaddeko amategula kati kyemmanyi wana abagitadde ku siringi biki era ajja kutugamba.
Ekiwatule.
Yes, ezeza akabi. I don't know musajja yanyiga.
Ngoyogedde ku nyumba.
Sogedde na kubiri. chaliwe bwe ngamba era kwe nali naye eri nga ngeze mu apartment za mugana ngera aliwo bamuyita Wanda Julius. Wanda Julius afaananga Bebe kulu w'omulaba. Bebe kulu exactly nga omulaba bwali. Ayali agala Bebe kulu okufaako obufi alina girlfriend ayagala Bobi Wine ne beekyawa ye lwakuba ayagala Bebe kulu. Ne mugamba munange kabulaza ono ali mu kkuba ng'okuba ku makya obwedda nvuma ne muteeka mu loudspeaker. Yakyawa Bebe kulu. I'm not lying, yamukyawa because yagamba kati okoze ki? Mukitekera okukoze ki? Nothing. Bichi. I'm a kid, ayakava medical school, ndi fara, Bebe kulu wakabi ne kakati wakabi ali eno ngula. Abira na Museveni. Ndiye no fara. Akubira Bebe not for me because wava muno is no sense person. Waba agalo na imbe ku birthday ya muwala we mukwatagana. 7 years so later, just ne ku record najjanga abagamba MD bangu.
Ne ku record akunoonyeza
netondero musajja asobola kwerabira zali sawa ndooza nga ttaano ngamba yenda sigala netondero kabulaza netonze emyaka 7 katuligena almost 8.
So what's your message to Zahara, Totto and Bebe Cool? Simple message. Come, Kalain, come.
Why? Do what makes you happy. Being happy is the most important thing. If getting angry about someone makes you happy, so be it. If keeping a grudge is what makes you happy, so be it. Life continues, man. Nothing, by the way. Why? Naye kati buba chikubi.
Kali. Nga tumaliriza just 2 things. Worst moment in your life.
My worst moment in my life.
That broke you down.
That really broke me down. Nenkola ebitakwatagana nakola ebitakwatagana then mama we namugamba agendeko ewaka nali njogedde bubi ne maama we nga simanyi mbu maama we nali manyi nti kati mu maama nga yayina essimu. I was like, this is something I've never experienced. And those 10 years and with the stardom that came with it, I never got married. I never got kids out of marriage. All my friends have kids. Look at the likes of the Jacksters, the Webb Daniel Savachi J, the Douglas Rangas, the Wajidi, the Calvin the entertainer. I like his story. So nagamba nze sigala okujjako nga ndi mbufumbo. Mubufumbo because chenjagala sichibangamu.
Okay, best moment in your life.
My best moment in my life, what could that be? My best moment, I think the time that I got hired then time to call TV.
That's your best moment.
I think it was my best moment, but I didn't look at it that much. I don't really look at
Eddie
Mbaga. Kagamba muno ko kakyali kataba kolambaga. Enough nayo gwenfunza at least enough nayo gwenfunza. I've no root at least tuzale ochimanyi if true because I'm the only boy. Yeah? So if I died now, my dad's generation kaput off. If I died now,
Joshua Mitala that has been the profile 256 with a legendary TV personality, Luzze. He has shared a very touching story. This show is sponsored by Shutia Media Uganda for all your graphics, photography, and videography. I sign out.
They are brave. They are our inspiration, our hope, makers, and game changers. They are your leaders in the political arena, business world, entertainment, and in the paradise of sports. We bring you their stories on the Profile 256. Let's